Hello, YouTube. Okay, so first off, I'm really sorry in advance if there's any weird sounds in the background. I'm pretty sure they're renovating the apartment above mine, so it's basically been non-stop hammer time for the last few days. I don't think it's being picked up too much by the mic, but if there's any weird bumps, that's what's happening. So yeah, I've been working on this piece on and off for the last like 3, 4 months. And I was procrastinating on getting it done, but I really did want to have it finished in time for a show that's coming up in the next couple weeks. So I finally this week managed to push through and get the rest of it complete. The more people I end up putting in a picture, generally the more sketch passes I end up having to do. And I'm pretty sure this is my record for a number of people in one picture, so I didn't add in the first layer of really, really rough sketches. So basically, the start of this is me refining all those initial sketches and then refining those and just kind of building the whole thing up a little bit more detail at a time. This is also a good example of why traditional artists who do really complicated pieces impress me to no end, because I'm really not sure how I would do this without 8 billion layers and also the transform function. Yeah, so I don't draw a lot of real person fan art, like fan art of actors, but I've been doing a rewatch of Star Trek Voyager since it came out on Netflix, and Voyager was also kind of one of my first fandoms when I was very, very young and it was coming out. And it still holds up pretty well today in my rewatch. I'm still really enjoying it, and it's also really hard to find any actual merch of it, so I decided I wanted to try and make an exception and draw a whole bunch of real people and do a great big fancy tribute print to the series. Drawing chibis of real people can be really tough because it's a very simplified style, especially in the face. And it's especially difficult in groups like this where a lot of them have very similar body types and often even somewhat similar hairstyles. So a lot of what you have to go on to tell them apart is things like their poses and their expressions. When I'm drawing real people as chibis for commissions and stuff through my shop, I always try and get details about the subject's personality before I begin, because I find that's usually the best way to produce a simplified likeness that's reliably a good likeness of the subject. And fortunately, with a whole show to draw from for a piece like this, that was even easier. Voyager's a really character driven show, so I really wanted to focus on everyone's personalities and their kind of interactions. And fortunately, a simplified style like this can be really good at getting that across because that's kind of the biggest thing that's there, kind of staring the audience in the face. So the line art process for this went pretty quickly and smoothly. This was definitely a piece where really cleaning up my sketches helped a lot. I know for me it's usually really tempting to just do a kind of okay sketch and then just jump right into lines, but especially with something like this where I'm referencing a whole lot, I find it's really helpful to do all that referencing in the sketch layer and to just make sure the sketch is really clear and reads well, and then mostly put the references away while I'm inking and just draw. And I find for me at least, getting all the technical work out of the way in the sketch layer just makes the inking process run a lot more smoothly for me, and also just makes the inking process a lot more fun because I don't have to be going back and forth between doing my final line drawing and referencing images in another window. You may have noticed, however, that I kind of didn't draw the spaceship itself into the more detailed sketch layer earlier. It was in my base sketch, but then I just kind of dropped it while I was doing the more detailed sketch layer on top. Basically, what happened was I finished up all the character line art, saying that, well, I'd just draw the ship afterwards, and then I put the whole picture away for like 2 months while I was procrastinating on actually getting around to drawing the ship because it was hard and not organic, and I'd have to look up even more references. And that's the main reason why this painting took like 3 months instead of like 3 days. So yeah, drawing spaceships is not exactly something I'm exceptionally good at, and I probably could have done more of that clean up sketch thing I was just talking about. But at least I eventually got around to doing it instead of scrapping a perfectly good picture because I was avoiding drawing one thing, which is something I'm sure if you've an artist you've run into before. So normally doing the colors for fan art, at least the flat colors, is reasonably easy because I can just go and find a good reference image and then pick the colors or eyeball the colors from there. But because of the characters I picked to draw here, some of whom aren't really seen on screen together or who come from different seasons, I couldn't find a single reference image that had all of them together under the same lighting. So basically what I ended up doing was going back and forth between a whole bunch of reference shots and then trying to match up the colors by eye into the new lighting I was using. And I don't think I recorded the whole process because it got kind of boring to look at, but it was probably good art practice in the end. I'm still not sure exactly how accurate I was, but hopefully it's at least close enough in the end that everyone's pretty recognizable. I decided to go with a very simple shading style here, just using a single layer set to multiply on top of everyone, both because I was kind of on a schedule and this way's a lot faster, and also because it was an easy way to make the colors just a little bit more coherent by making the shading color for everyone identical. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you'd like to see more of me drawing stuff, please check out the rest of my videos or hit subscribe to see new ones. If you've got any questions, I would love to hear them down in the comments, and I really hope I'll see you around.